Void Paladin, yes or no? Okay, Amy's here because I did tell them, Cal, that your let's see, suspicion is that Erator is getting set up to be the first Void Paladin.
Yes.
So let's just start there. Tell me what your thoughts are.
Okay. So if you look at, all right, I'm going to get really nerdy with this, okay? I'm going to get really nerdy, okay? You guys are going to see some crazy conspiracy stuff, and I get real serious about lore.
If you look at the cosmology, if you were to actually look at the cosmology and break down what the light represents, yes, they're out there. The truth is out there.
If you look at like what the light represents, and if you look at what the void represents, Erator is stuck between the two. And the thing with the light is all about ideology. The light is all about a belief structure. Light is not good in Warcraft, folks. The light in Warcraft is not good. There are tons of examples of just because they're light and AKA holy does not mean that it is AKA good. So the light is very much about like inspiring and creating an ideal of belief, whereas the void is destruction of everything. Now, you've got Turalian, who's a paladin, right? He's Erator's dad. Now, what's the difference between priests and paladins? Priests channel the light. They are devoted to the light and they channel the light. Paladins are infused with the light. It is actually a part of their being. So you've got Turalian, who is literally a part of who he is as a person, is infused with the light. But then you've got his mom. And spoiler alert, if you haven't gotten there yet, if you didn't know, Illyria is legitimately...
Wait, I know this one. She's possessed by a dark Naru.
She's not possessed because she's the inhabitant. Because possess implies that she's not in control, but she is. It's a battery of her core.
She's hosting.
And so Erator is a child of both sides. And if you look at what goes on in the story so far between Erator and Turalian, Erator has this belief of what is good and what isn't, but he's not a mindless zealot like his dad. He is able to decide for himself, which brings in a bit of, the void of individuality. And so really the void is just a destructive voice of shadow and destruction, whereas the light is supposed to be light and holy. So I believe that given Erator's experience with his mom and his dad, I believe, he is going to be the balance. He is going to be the Anakin Skywalker. He's going to be a better Anakin. He's going to be a Luke Skywalker. I'll put it like that. He is going to be more of a balance because Arthas is Darth Vader. But if you look at Erator, like his connection with his mom and his dad, he sees where they're both coming from. Whereas the big thing of what's messing up Turalian and Illyria is Turalian is devoted to the light and he can't get his head out of his ass. And you've got Illyria who's going, no, like we can't do this. And you've got Erator in the middle going, you both are right, but you both are going too far. So I think that Erator is actually going to be the very first Void Paladin. It's just a chance. He'll be infused with the light, he'll be infused with the void like his mom, but he will actually be a channeler of the void.
Okay.
Well, the Naru came after he was born, but remember, just like Illyria, she can now wield the void because again, it happened after the Naru happened to her, and it inhabited her. And now she can wield void powers. Erator can do the same thing.
So tell me how Illyria ended up being basically with the whole Naru situation.
I want to say that happened near the end of the Legion expansion, and she kind of went off on her own because her and Turalian were part of the Army of the Light. And one thing to keep in mind, they went and got, I want to say it was the third war. They got separated. Second war. It was the second war. I'm sorry. Second war. They got stuck in Outland when Ner'zhul blew up Outland. They got stuck out in Outland and they ended up joining the Army of the Light. Both of them did. Now, they were over in Outland for about 1,000 years. And people are like, well, how is this true? How is this possible? Well, time dilation and the twisting nether. Only 20 years took place in Azeroth, but they, joining the Army of the Light and everything in Outland, they became infused with the light, and the light allowed them to live longer. So like Turalian and Illyria they're old. They've, from their experiences. So during the end of Legion, Illyria kind of sensed there was other things going on. She went off on her own, even though Turalian told her not to. And she ended up having a conversation with a corrupted Naru, and essentially the corrupted Naru is like, okay, cool, I like you. And that was that. And then it really kind of messed everything up because the Order of the Light, the Army of the Light and everything got involved with Yrel, and that's a whole nother spiral. The light are evil.
Okay. Imprinted on her like Jacob from Twilight. I'm dead.
Pretty
Also,
much.
Hi, Ray.
Pretty much.
Hi,
It's just a
Ray.
part of her now.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So Turalian is human. Correct?
Yes. Turalian is a human. He became a paladin. He is one of the very first paladins, one of the first 5 paladins that was created in the beginning of the Second War.
And so does the light work as like a life extender for humans?
The light
Like,
can
does it
act.
extend their
it's-
life expectancy?
So the way that I read it, and I mean, somebody in the chat could interpret it differently. The way that I read it is, it's not that the light extends their life; it's that the light is continuously healing them. It's like the light's constantly rejuvenating them, which is which is actually a part of the reason why, for the longest time, they said undead couldn't be paladins, because being a paladin, they would be infused with the light, and the light would continuously try to heal them. And so like it would bring back their sense of smell and everything. And so the undead, if they became paladins, they would actually know how bad they smell, and they would see their skin decomposing, and they would be able to hear and feel the maggots in their body, and it would just be psychologically terrifying. However, and I've been very excited to tell people this, however, there is actually an undead paladin in Warcraft lore. There is one. There is in fact one undead paladin in the Warcraft lore.
Who is it?
Wait, your audio settings are open?
Not you.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, I was like,
Go
wait,
ahead. Go ahead.
there is.
Thank you. Okay.
So there is actually an undead paladin
Who
in
is
Warcraft.
it?
His name, and you can look it up, his name is Sir Zeliek. Sir Zeliek was a paladin during the second or third war. He was a paladin. He ended up dying, and he ended up getting raised as one of the 4 horsemen. Yep, some people know it in the chat. He ended up getting raised as a horseman. However,
Should we pull him up on screen?
he was
I'm pulling him up. Yeah, 1 second. I'm gonna pull him up right now.
he was actually so devoted to the light that even though he got raised
Oh, sorry guys.
as a Death Knight, he retained his individuality and was in fact actually an undead paladin, which I'm sorry, Blizzard needs to get on it, needs to make undead paladin a thing. Yes, when Morgraine, yeah. And you're not talking about Darian, you're talking about his dad Alexandros.
Ah.
I want to say he fell the same time as Alexandros Morgraine. I want to say it was the same battle.
Oh, look at that horse.
I know, that's sick.
Yeah.
I have
So
it. That guy freaks. Hi, Val. Oh my gosh.
So Amy Lee asked a really good question. I don't know if you I don't want to do all the talking because I get
No,
really
you're
into
good.
lore.
So if light rallies,
Sanctum of Domination.
okay, if light pallies are
I'm gonna write
infused with
that
the
down.
light, can demon hunters be light demon hunters one day, or fell pallies? So essentially, like if anybody who can channel or be infused with, or whatever the case, can we now use all of the what are they? The sources of Azeroth or whatever?
Oh,
There's,
the cosmology.
order, disorder, light, death.
Yeah, the cosmology. So there are 6.
Void.
Yeah, there are 6 sides. Light and void, which is holy and
Yes.
like destruction.
Yes.
There is life and death, and then there is order and disorder, which is arcane and fell.
Yeah.
Could there be a fell paladin? Yeah. Yeah. I mean, because it's what makes a paladin is the infusion of the light in the belief of what the light stands for. But here's the problem with the light. If you look at the Scarlet Crusade, if you look at Yrel and the Order of the Light and the things that they did, and if you don't know, like, tell me in the chat and I'll tell you, there are plenty of beings who follow the supposed ideologies of the light, but it's their interpretation of the light, and the light still allows them to use it. So it's the interpretation of the individuals, because like the Scarlet Crusade and Sally Whitemane, they were a bunch of xenophobic psychopaths. But they were xenophobic psychopaths. Like they were. The Scarlet Crusade were psychos.
Bunch of zealots.
But because they believed in the light and they interpreted the light as, you know, undead or this, and, you know, orcs are this and trolls are this, the light was like, well, you believe in us, that's good enough. So I mean, could you have a fell paladin? Theoretically, I don't see why you couldn't, because if somebody was like spiritually devoted to the belief structure of the void, yeah, sure, because what makes a paladin is the infusion of the power source and the belief structure of that energy. That's really all it is. That's it. We had this argument this morning.
I'm so excited.
It's why there are no dwarves or elves in the crusade. Yeah, like the Scarlet Crusade was only human. The Scarlet Crusade were all humans, and
we are going to persevere, and we are going to maintain the holiness that the light stands for. And if you're not a human, then you are beneath us, and we will slaughter you all. Merry Christmas!
Like they were just a bunch of lunatics.
They were loonies.
Which makes it really funny because Sally Whitemane ended up getting raised as a horseman, so she's now a Death Knight, and that is hilarious.
Oh. Val, humans are Nazis. This is canon. Crazy.
Some of them are.
I was like, there were a couple things that I'm trying to think of, like the meme. There was like a TikTok, and it was basically somebody, I forget what creator put it out there, but she was like, if I had a daughter and she said that she was like on a date with somebody and found out that they were a WoW player, there's only one class and race combo that I would absolutely not be okay with, and that's a human paladin. And I was like, wow, that's crazy. They're like, absolutely not. Sus vibes. I don't like that. Like,
no,
you
rogue.
have all of these beautiful options, and you choose a human paladin. And I was like, ooh, crazy. I don't even know if I have any humans.
Sally can get it. That's funny.
Sally can get it is crazy. Yeah, the Silver Hand was created by humans. So I don't even think I have any humans, to be honest with you.
I used to. I actually started as a human.
A human what? Warlock?
The very first class and character I ever created back in 2004, I started a human mage. I played it for 10 minutes and said, this sucks. And then I created my warlock, and that is my oldest character.
Wow, that's crazy. Yeah. I don't have any. Belfs and foxes. Are there any other races? It's so true. Belfs forever. Okay, wait. Why did the Titans imprison the old gods instead of killing them? Abso wants to know.
The reason, I want to make sure I tell it correctly. When Sargeras broke away, and while he was creating the Burning Legion and ended up becoming the Fallen Titans, the rest of the Pantheon, Aman'Thul, Aenar, Khaz'garath, Gil'Ganeth, all of them, they were scouring, and they came across Azeroth that was controlled by the old gods that had enslaved the Elemental Lords, Ragnaros, Therazane, Neptulon, and Al'Akir. They realized that the old gods had control of Azeroth, and they had dug so deep into Azeroth that if they destroyed them, or if they tried to rip them out, they would do irrevocable or irrecoverable damage to the planet. So they created the Titan Forged, Odin, Helya, Loken, Thorum, Memoron, and they were like mini versions of the Pantheon, and they broke free the elemental lords and then bound them to the elemental plane, but then they had to lock them away because at the time they were worried that, you know, and while they were defeating the old gods, Amonthul got really pissed and reached down through the heavens and grabbed Yasharj and ripped him out.